Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Joining me is spokesperson of the Ighodalo campaign organization, Chris Ojeikere. Mr. Ojeikere, thank you for joining us on the program this evening. Mr. Ojeikere, let's begin with the rally held today in Benin. Is that the PDP making a statement following the court ruling?
Well, PDP in 3 local government areas in the metropolis of Benin City, Ighodalo local government area, Ojeikere local government area, and Ighodalo local government area. They came out to make a statement, as you put it, and underscore a point. It was a response to the garrulity of a baby lawyer who could not even understand the judgment of court from where he has just come out, and misinformed Nigerians by pronouncing the judgment or a judgment that the judge himself did not pronounce. Pronouncing a judgment on a case that wasn't even before the court. By saying to the world that our candidate, the dearly beloved Ighodalo, has been disqualified as a candidate of the PDP. And PDP are no dons, we are not doubts. So we asked for the judgment, read it, and saw that this lawyer, in his verbal diarrhea as usual, has misled the world. We decided to come out to assure our candidate that we understand the prayer that was before the court, we understand the judgment that Justice Ighodalo gave, and it has nothing to do with our candidate's disqualification. Right. He was not even, and so we have come out to assure him and reassure him, just from 3 local government areas, to do, as you say in your studio, testing the mic, to test the mic.
Mr. Ojeikere, I hear you clearly, and we're going to leave the interpretation of the court. You know, whatever you think the interpretation was, your party, the PDP, has now appealed, and that's quite pregnant. You know, Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, who's the chairman of the PDP Edo State Governorship Campaign Council, also called the court ruling a temporary setback. Talk to us about how the Ighodalo camp is managing this development beyond just a rally. You know what they say about rally? Everybody gets the number when you call for a rally. What matters is what happens on election day.
That's correct. So as I told you, the first thing we did as our reaction was to be calm and then to ask for the court's judgment. On the strength of the court's judgment and by proper interpretation, we decided to manage it the way we are managing it. The rally is just one point. Our members were fully briefed by lawyers among us about the implications of the judgment. What the PDP is appealing is in respect to the judgment that was given according to the prayer that was before the court. And that's, as you said, is another issue. So our members have been properly sensitized. We have made even the least member of PDP in terms of literacy to understand in clear terms what the judgment means, and that it doesn't affect the candidate. And then we are going further. We have not deterred. We have not stopped campaigning. We have not stopped convincing the people from door to door. And we are asking our opponent, the APC, to please bring issues on board, to please stop going about with propaganda. You cannot become governors through the back door. Bring issues, meet us for Ighodalo issue for issue. We are still waiting for the candidate of the APC to talk to Edo people. As Ighodalo is busy, that is why he has become the issue. He's now the issue because he's the one that is moving from place to place, talking ideas, talking issues, and talking his manifesto. We have not seen any other manifesto. So we keep telling our people, we'll keep doing what we are doing, and as we are doing what we are doing, we are sure to achieve victory at the end of the day.
You know, you kept on talking about the APC candidate. There are other candidates in this election. Do you consider the APC your PDP's main contender in this election?
Well, APC is a main contender, no doubt about that, because if you come to Edo State, the 2 parties that have the greatest number of followers and the more established structures are the APC and the PDP. The Labour Party man, Olumide Akpata, who first of all is out of place, like a fish out of water in this very election, because he understands that the trajectory of the thinking and the worldview of Edo people now is going central, which is Edo Central. He has decided to act as an adjunct. We are carrying him along as an adjunct, but that's where he remains, as an adjunct. It's just in the marginal, fringes exercising his right as an individual.
It's
but
all right.
even his followers have all, obedient followers have all come to support as well Ighodalo because they know where the trajectory is. So the APC, seemingly, our problems because the APC have chosen propaganda rather than campaigning. And so we find ourselves keep being distracted, deflecting their propaganda, machinery, deflecting all sorts of, very high-falutin senselessness that come from some of, the leaders, bogus figures that they cannot prove anywhere. They piece pieces of paper together and hold press conferences. They are not discussing anything in their manifesto. They are not telling us about what they will do. The last time their candidate was asked about what he would do about health, he went straight to start talking about zoo and museum and did not even know that you don't keep animals.
Mr. Ojeikere, it's very interesting the way, politicians weave words during campaigns like this. But again, yes, the numbers will determine who will win this election. And I hear your position about the court. I respect it. But some have also said this court ruling may have significant implications for the PDP and the political landscape in Edo State. You probably didn't anticipate this outcome, and you agree with me that all of the parties need some form of legal confidence they can garner going into an election of this nature. But let us leave that behind us. There are those who would say a case of this nature speaks to the fact that the Edo PDP hasn't remained the same after the primary election. Are you still hoping to get the legacy group on board, or the Ighodalo camp doesn't need them?
Ighodalo, since he started his campaign, has preached only one thing: peace and unity. He has moved from word to word. He has moved from unit to unit. He has moved from local government to local government. And he has refused to recognize that PDP should have any form of schism. He has spoken to reason. He has brought people together. Now, the legacy group, in fact, does not really exist anymore. It exists in theory, and the APC is trying to hold on to that when it was very bad. As I speak to you now, if the crowd you saw today in Benin belongs to the group that is non-legacy, then what is remaining of the PDP in Edo State? The crowd you saw today was a mixture of the so-called legacy group, the followers who have agreed with Ighodalo's position and Ighodalo's appeal and persuasion that we should all come together and be united as PDP members and face a common goal to move Edo State from the third ward, from where we are now to the first ward. So the PDP legacy group is only a few cabal who are holding on to it because that is their bargaining chips, which will they collect money from the Abuja masters. There is no legacy group in terms of strength, commanding any strength. It's a group of leaders who are just there and holding on to that. They are confused, they are head halfway. They don't know whether to follow their leaders to APC. Their leader is striding between APC and PDP, and they don't know where to go. So the only thing they think they can continue to do is to create this kind of problems and create this kind of, furor from nothing, just to keep the people that they have deceived, that they have anything to offer or that they have anything to hold on to. It's now a mirage because their followers were all on the streets today. We know them, we are PDP members together, and we are all working together today as one united PDP.
But it is your word against theirs because they are of the opinion that this development indicates a deeper crisis within the PDP that could have been averted post-primaries. You are not sounding like you believe there is still a political solution even following the suspension of some of these stakeholders.
Oh, I just said just that since Ighodalo came, he has been preaching peace and unity. We are not going to stop that. We are going to continue to preach peace and unity. Even right now, we are still appealing to them that you leaders, please stop misleading you people, stop misleading Nigeria. Come down, let us have a parley. Ighodalo has come with a new trajectory and a new agenda. It's clear where he's going, and we should all follow. He has no enemies. It's a man that has empathy for people. He loves people. He wants unity. He just wants peace. So let's give him a trial. Let's give him a chance. Stop those grievances. Throw them away. Let's have one united party. And let's go to September.
You have used the word mislead again, and it's interesting because that's how we started this conversation. You claiming that the lawyer misled the public. I'm just wondering if you thought that the judgment being in the public is wrong, why did your party appeal that court ruling?
I said the prayer that was before the court was in respect to delegates. They said certain delegates were excluded from participating in the election primary. It is now left for us to go to the appeal court to show that the delegates that are of PDP, that were duly elected as delegates, 3 per ward, no one was excluded from participating in the primary. Since a judge, you know, it's the judicial arm of government, and there's a pronouncement, no matter how watery, no matter how, you know, illogical it might sound, it is always good for you to go and get that judicial acquittal. So that is what we are going there to do at the appeal court, to go and respond to the prayer before the court. The prayer before the court didn't have anything to do with whether the election processes that brought in Ighodalo was flawed, or whether the electoral act was flawed, and our PDP constitution was flawed, like that.
I'm sure that you also would understand. Yes, I'm sure you would understand the position of those who said if all of the noise you made about this judgment was true and you felt there was nothing to it, then you would just let it slide and not appeal it. But because of time, let's talk about Aswa Ighodalo. It's been criticized for its perceived lack of political experience. How does the campaign address these concerns? And you don't think it's an issue ahead of the September election?
Now, when they say lack of political experience, we do not understand which dimension. Because what I know is that good economics is good politics. And that's why Ighodalo has been 16 years in the economic affairs of Edo State. He was 8 years in Oshomole's own cabinet as a member of Oshomole's economic team. And then his 8 years, or was 8 years, which ended in November, as the chairman of the board of the Ighodalo Summit, which is an extension and a continuation of the economic team of Oshomole, now under Obaseki. So when they say it's a political, it's not been politically this, I don't understand. If you don't have good economics, where do you have good politics? It is the person that manages resources well and equitably distributes it for the citizenry to be happy. That is in politics. If politics is all these shenanigans and all these conspiracies and all these lies and all this propaganda, we don't want him in that kind of. We want politics that are deep resource management and allocation. That's what Ighodalo is trained for, and that is what he's coming to do. Now, if you've been in the board for 8 years and you were there a member for 8 years and people say you are not in the politics, or I wonder what you need to do, we don't all have to be party chairmen. We don't all have to be councillors in our wards. We are all participating in the politics. I, for instance, have never had an elective position. I've been participating in the politics. So it's a wide field. Everybody has their own contribution, and we assign responsibilities according to competence.
I agree with you that you don't have to be a politician, you know, to qualify to lead, but you need that political bedrock, you know, just like our constitution requires you to be sponsored by a political party. They say, for instance, that the original owners of the PDP are angry with the current structure as it is currently constituted. And you need that level of political competence, you know, to be able to win elections before you display your economic prowess. You don't agree with me?
We all fall into that trap of saying owners of PDP. There are no owners of the political party, and that's the point.
But when I say owners, don't misinterpret me. The current governor himself was with the APC, and we all know what happened before he left for the APC, left the APC for the PDP. So there were people he met there, right? What do you call them?
And those people met people. Dan Obi, who is the leader of the PDP, or was the leader of the PDP, the vice chairman, joined PDP in 2003. PDP started in Edo State in 1999. So why is Dan Obi, and how did he become leader when there were people there from 1999 to 2003? He joined the party in 2003. So this entitlement mentality, where some people think
2003, I think we lost your audio for a bit, but if you can hear me, 2003 to 2024 is a long time, right? When you say entitlement mentality, it sounds like whoever has joined the party a few years ago is the one who seems to have an entitlement mentality if he's not giving regard to those he met there, who has been, you know, if if they did not manage the party well, they're probably not going to be a PDP to decamp to, right? Well, we may have lost connection with the spokesperson of the Ighodalo campaign organization in Edo State, Chris Ojeikere. Earlier today, there was a major rally. You saw the pictures earlier in 3 local government areas in Benin, largely perhaps in response to the pronouncement by court that nullified the process that brought in Ighodalo as candidate of the PDP. Well, the PDP is of the opinion that that judgment was largely misinterpreted by the lawyer who represented his clients, about 3 of them who had taken the PDP to court. But as of today, the PDP has appealed that judgment, and perhaps they are saying that it wouldn't stand the test of time, so they say, especially when it's tested in their appeal. We're following that development very closely as we count down to the September 21 governorship election in Edo State. Quite a number of political parties have now come up with the primaries are done and dusted. We now know who the candidates are, but as we speak, Edo PDP has a lot to do in convincing the other stakeholders, especially in the legacy group, that they really have a candidate and that it's certified by law. We're following that development very closely. We're also looking at the position. Okay, I'm told that Mr. Ojeikere is back. Mr. Ojeikere, we have just a few more minutes. I was saying that 2003 is a long time ago, right? You were talking about entitlement mentality. If there were no stakeholders in the PDP, keeping the party alive, there wouldn't have been a party to decamp to, right?
Yes.
And that's perhaps what the stakeholders are saying. You know what? We are supposed to have stakes as well going into this election.
Yes, the stakeholders have stakes. They are still PDP members, and they were on the street today. The stakeholders should not be personified to a few cabal who use PDP to trade. There are those who were leading PDP in Edo State, and PDP never won a governorship election. They will not let PDP win a governorship election because they are the only ones that cash out in every election. Now PDP is the one winning. It is still PDP. That's the name. It's the umbrella sign. That's the name that is winning. That's the ruling party today is PDP. So some individuals who are not gaining, no longer gaining from the fact that they are the only persons who have that entitlement mentality who are using PDP to trade, should not now personify PDP and epitomize it on themselves. The PDP grassroots, those faithful people who have been there, are now getting a sense of integration and a sense of belonging. They should be allowed to. We have been in PDP. I just told you when some people joined PDP. So the PDP remains there, and PDP will remain there. Now, what we are asking, to come back to what you said earlier, that they should please rethink, and in the interest of the PDP, and in the interest of the law for the party, now sit down together with the leaders among themselves and say, look, let's allow PDP to leave. Let's not stop.
That's our time, Mr. Ojeikere. We have to bear in mind that some of them have also been suspended, as we speak. Interesting days ahead, really, for the PDP and the Edo election. Thank you so much for your time speaking with us, spokesperson, Ighodalo campaign organization, Chris Ojeikere.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And that's our show today, everyone. You can watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi